So we got in here and I got to taking some measurements, and this bar right here was off. Well, I couldn't figure out why. I was like, I know that was level. I know this bar and that bar was dead on. I took measurements from here, across over there and there and there and over here, and all the measurements were right. Well, what I forgot is you take this under hoist stand right here. But I would put that stand here, I push up on the frame, that leveled the frame out. And now that I remember why this one's off, so basically this bar right here is tilted like that, it's down too far. And the reason being is this frame right here is lower. So once I pick this up, it'll level that out. Or cut the roll bar loose. And once I cut this loose, I'm gonna pick up on this frame until I get it where I need it, and then I'm just gonna weld that back in place, and that'll stop the frame from going back down. I got the bar cut loose, so we're gonna raise the frame up and see how close this comes and figure it out. All right, we threw 2 tack welds on there. I got one over there, I got one over there if you can see it. All right, so let's let this down and hopefully this will work. Don't know if y'all can see that, but we're zeroed out right there. I got the rear end level to the frame. I got a little bit of support on the back. Everything should be how it's gonna be sitting when it's on the ground within reason. So earlier I talked about this bar was different from this bar because the frame was crooked over here, it was leaning. So now that I got everything straight, this is 12.7. This one's 12.7.
Break the silence we're afraid to break, and take the chance before it's too late. Echoes of the heart, a quiet plea. Can you hear the words between you and me? This silence is louder than it seems. I'm aching to know if we share the same dream.
We got it, we got the roll bar welded in. So, start getting the shocks in. It's the little things that make me happy. It's just the little things. Is there any stickers? Me and my son's already figured out how we're gonna do this. Where this yellow strap is kind of where the bar is gonna go. So I'm gonna take this after I cut that off, and we're gonna weld it. Like basically, like right here. It's gonna go in line with these holes. That way the shock will have adjustment. And then the shock, we're gonna run the shock upside down. And we're gonna do it like this because it'd be easier to adjust here. And it'd be easier to reach up here and adjust that one. But that's how we're gonna run it. So we're gonna get these pieces cut, get the bar cut, and get that stuff tacked in and see how it works. Quick tip, if you're marking with something like this and you can't see your mark, take your Sharpie marker, put you a line, and then when you scratch it, you'll be able to see it. Fixing to do right now, I'm gonna get the truck level to where it's gonna ride at, and I'm gonna level the rear end. Then we're gonna get these where they're gonna mount. Once I get both of them, we'll tack those in place. I'll put my digital angle finder on that. The rear end should be straight to the frame, so I'll make sure those are straight, and then we're gonna make sure the bar is straight to all of this.
Get wrecked, this a bloodbath. Dark night, sharp blades, make the gods laugh. I don't play nice, nah, I'm a nightmare. Pull up with the smoke, let it.
How I got this sitting right now, if I'm thinking about this right, I hope I am. When I sit in the vehicle, it's gonna try to preload this side a little bit, so it's gonna try to squat a hair. So the way I've got it sitting is kind of like this being the spring, and it's kind of preloading. So once I put a little preload in this, which would be like putting a little preload in that shock. They measure 18 3/4 to here, 18 3/4 to here. The way I've got it, with a little preload in this, like I'm trying to pick this side up here. So hopefully I'm right on that. If not, I mean, I can always cut that bar out and put a little angle in it to get it right. But I'm pretty sure that this is gonna work out. So we're gonna take the shocks off, weld these tabs up, get these brackets down here welded up.
So cold, turn a saint to a sinner. Came for the bread, now I'm taking the dinner. Your fake snake slither in the tall grass. I don't talk much, I just let the blade slash. Grimy, slimy venom in my veins. While you talking all that shit, I'm just taking names. They don't wanna see me win, wanna see me fall. But I'm built for the fire, I'm taking it all. Chains on my neck, but I feel no weight. Look death in the eye, and I tell it too late. Get fucked, I'm coming for the crown, no love, yeah. Haters in my lane, I'll lay them face down, yeah. Get fucked, bet they praying, I still down.
My welder's still giving me trouble. I'm starting to think it's the liner. It's still popping like a car on the damn chip. Anywho, let's get the anti-roll bar and see how we're gonna mount that. So we got the shocks on, and we've been fumbling around with this anti-roll bar for a few minutes. And I think we finally came up with what we're gonna do. So we cut these plates right here. I'm gonna weld this plate in. That's gonna give me the basis for the tube. So my tube is gonna come across and it's gonna weld to the bottom side of this housing right here. We try to do it without the bar coming across. What I was gonna do originally is just run a tube from here to here. And problem we were running into is if this piece doesn't stay exactly straight, if it's got any pressure in any direction, it puts that anti-roll bar in a bind. So we opted out of that, and we're just gonna go with that bar coming across here, and then we're gonna weld it here and then shoot across. And then all we gotta do is take the anti-roll bar, take these plates right here, stand them upright, bring them right up to the bar, and then weld them on, and there won't be any resistance in there. So we got to run the bar across here, and we got to take the plate, and we're going to notch this plate out. Well, the rain has finally stopped, so I'll catch you up on what happened while it was raining. So we got the bars in down here. We got the anti-roll bar. It's mounted. I got the arms made for that. Put the tabs on. Man, I'm zoomed in. There we go. Which I think I had the shocks on already. I'll show the other side. So it's kind of back side. I'm ordering a new weld lead. We're gonna see if that's what's going on with the welder. I don't know if you can see it, but like it's been giving me a hard time. It'll start out good. I'll change positions, and then it'll go back to having a hard time again. Anywho, I took some pictures while I was doing it, and it'll show the gauge, or the digital gauge on the bars. It'll show the angles, how all the angles are right. I may have some pictures of how I measured some of that stuff out with plunge bobs, but you can see that everything's straight, even, or equal, I guess I should say. Whatever degree this is, the other one is. Whatever degree that shock is, this one over here matches up, which I may have offset those just by a little bit. Did I? No, the shocks are the same. I'm thinking about the frame. Anyway, that's it. You're all caught up. I'm putting the third member in now. and we're fixing to put the axles in, put the brake bracket on, get the brakes on, then hopefully we can get the wheels and everything in. We got the axles in, got the brake caliper bracket on. Okay, so right here is going to be a little bit of a hard edit, a little bit of a jump forward. Reason being, I was using an old Photoshop program to do most of our videos because I had already paid for it years ago, and it ended up taking a crap on us, and I lost some video editing, and I didn't know if we were going to be able to fix it, so I stopped recording for a little while. But we ended up getting DaVinci Resolve, and that pretty much resolved the issue. Yeah, I figured out how to use it. It ain't too bad. So I will jump forward with where we're at now. So the weld lead is on, and that was the problem. The welder is welding as it should. It ain't spitting and sputtering no more. We got everything under here painted. We got the brake lines ran. One thing I'm changing is the brake caliper bracket. I don't think, let me see. The brake caliper bracket up here, I ended up ordering these. I'm not gonna run the ones I made. Something about it, I don't like it. So the bracket should be here today. But everything's painted. Everything moves as it should. Everything's good, but the tabs, I don't particularly like the shock tab. I still think it'll work though. And I'm gonna see if it starts rubbing the shock up there. And if it starts messing up my shocks, then I'll change it. If it doesn't really do anything, we're just gonna leave it. But that's her. So one of the things that I needed to do was lower the seat in this truck. And I didn't want to cut the whole floorboard out, so we tried this. We took the torch and heated all this right here up. There's like a pretty thick little, well, it's really not that thick, probably 1/8 of an inch plate. And we heated this up and kind of heated up the metal. And while I was heating this, I let my son hit it with a hammer on the inside, kind of fold it down. And it ended up working. And it's still got all of its structure, like it ain't, you know, like you can't push on it and it flex or nothing. All the little kinks actually keep a little bit of structure in it, but I'll show you the top side. So you can see how much difference is in the seats. We got about 3 inches of a drop right here, which hopefully is going to help keep my head off this bar. And before, the way it was, instead of my butt being here, I would have to slope down in the seat to get some clearance. So hopefully now I ain't got to do that. I sat in the seat. My line of sight seems pretty good. Hopefully when the truck is fully extended, I can see. Good thing is in drag racing, you just go straight. That's all you got to do is just hold the steering wheel and it goes straight. It's not what you got to do. But that's going to be the end of this video. The only thing I'm doing is waiting on my brake brackets to come in. I'm going to install them. The truck can sit down on its arm. It can roll around. I can move it if I need to. I ain't going to record me putting them brackets on. I'm going to wait till the next video for the air to water intercooler and all the piping back here. And the other thing that I'm hoping is going to be in the next video, and I'll put a little clip right here, my engine is about to be done. So this is my engine, and hopefully the next video will be the engine going in, air to water intercooler getting mounted back there with some piping and all that good stuff. So stay tuned.